a give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my range. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my, cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting walk. Got a big Benz like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with a no, it's top
I got
notch.
that chicken to golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Matt.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. Orchestrating the offense, the former three-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
A first down throw for Cousins. Caught by Nelson left side. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On third down, Cousins. And just as you called it after the earlier sack, they set up the screen. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down. Defensively, looks like they were thinking the same thing you were. You mentioned maybe being able to hit him with some screens, but they were ready.
Yeah, it's not just the guys who have the headsets on offense that do the thinking, right? They saw, they understood what they did, and said, you know something, how would you try to play it against us? And they were ready for it.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. Showed some flash on the run, but he will be brought down shy of his 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey,
he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Ronald Jones, 78 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And the Giants ready to come out now. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On play action, Cousins. On the crossing route, complete. It's Richardson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
Yellow.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Off the play fake, Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off, actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
He'll rifle this one deep right. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play that time for the Seahawks. And even 40 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Buying time to his left, and it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The tackle there by Richard Sherman.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And an alley to run. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. They'll run it with Jones. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Mahomes now to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Evan Ingram, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
That'll go as a loss of 5. Now a handoff looking right. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Toward the sideline, did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe-tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. And he is going to go down. They sack him. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
This is taken around the 12. Oh, nice move. An excellent return that time. 26 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And out now come the Seahawks. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Pretty move, finding room to the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. And down he'll go at the 25. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Partner, those are back-to-back 6-yard runs, and if they're going to continue to get those types of plays, shoot, you just keep running the same stuff, don't you?
Yeah, it was 1st and 10, then 2nd and 4. Now 1st and 10 again. A give to Jones. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. There he goes, left side. And all the way in, touchdown, Seattle. Ronald Jones on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for it. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing is Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Richardson. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want a way to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now Cousins. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the gun, here's Cousins. And Nelson's got it here right side. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. Well, there you see it, a hat trick of touchdowns, and we're in the first half. I'm betting that he was over there saying, feed me.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
I got to eat.
There's no doubt, and he's real hungry right now, isn't he? I mean, let's be honest about that. We don't have to be on the field to understand what he's telling everyone. Give me the ball. We're locked in with the offensive line. They're taking care of business, and I'm finishing things off.
Well, heck, he might be able to turn this into an historic event. We'll see.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And now running right through it. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down. That fits the bill.
Jones. And he's going to be met at about the 43. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. They go play action here on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
3 down.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. Open man right side is Shark. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this 1st half.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. To throw, it's Mahomes. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
So the illegal forward pass also cost him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman, there you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Gets fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. It's the Rams that have grabbed the early lead. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
They'll go again to Jones. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game?
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On the counter, here's Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. This is Jones. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll run it with Jones. Oh, spinning away. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ronald Jones, 36 yards. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking toward.
Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. That's his 14th interception on the season, and that number 14 ties the NFL single-season record.
Held by Dick Night Train Lane. Was that 1952?
52, more than a half-century ago.
And he's with the Rams that season, and believe it or not, it was his rookie year. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well.
That's caught at the 25. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Holding offense.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After the penalty, it's Jones. 12 yards is the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in a game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's 3 levels, defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary. And if the third level is leading your team in tackles, as a general rule, things aren't going so well for your defense.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. He sets to fire. This is caught inside the 15. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Now Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Whitney merciless, able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack, but he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Flush to his right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone.
And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now Cousins. He gets it to Humphreys. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Pulled in at the 24. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the court. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. He'll get it up the middle, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ronald Jones, a 6-yard touchdown run. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. You start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I'll bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. New York set to take the field. And they gave up the pick six. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
To throw is Cousins. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into a huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here's Cousins. Complete. Richardson has it. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Cousins again. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down. Continuing to steadily move the ball down the field. Not big play after big play, but these moderate gains getting him first downs.
And you know what they add up to, right? If you continue that pace and you continue to move it downfield, they add up into 6 points. That's exactly what you're looking for.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're... And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. And with that carry, he has done it. He breaks the single-game rushing record.
How about doing it in the spotlight of our game? How wonderful is that to see all those yards accumulated, culminating in a brand new NFL record.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Seahawks on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Running right, Jones. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That good for 22 and a first down. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Tavarius Moore. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll pitch it out to Jones. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
Themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Giants, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco.
Zombie gang rapping that NYC.